host Chris Berman and analyst Tom Jackson as they break down all the 8 days of NFL playoff action. NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite, the most comprehensive NFL highlight show on television. And for more information, log on to ESPN.com. And they'll update you on that Steelers game today.
Boomer and TJ, I just love watching those guys on NFL Primetime.
They break it down like nobody else. And Dennis-Horan finds himself down by 30.
Had himself a little hole here. Heard him again, Randy. Not making good shots.
He's just grabbing every other shot. He's not making good shots.
You do not want to strike like that.
Now the amateur Brett Wolfe has put himself into a wonderful position. He leads by 34. $100,000 is on the line for the young man. Goes to the second place finisher. And Roger Dalkin, the ABC Executive Director on your left. Tom DeChalis, the ABC President on the right. They're standing by with that presentation. But right now, on the lanes, it is Horan-Jr. and Brett Wolfe, the young amateur.
More one-baggers.
Those boys dug deep into the bank account this week, son.
Yes, they did. Largest purse in the history of the ABC Masters.
Only about $350,000 or $60,000.
That's a chunk of change.
Here's a guy that's looking to take home some big cake.
Yeah, baby! Yes!
Wow. I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's feeling it. Would you agree, Brian?
I think we want him to keep his day job, actually. This guy's good.
Yeah,
this guy
Brett,
is good.
Brett, don't come out on tour anytime soon, okay, pal?
He said if he wins, he just might show up in Vegas. Not quite convinced he should do this full time. He said this is his house. It's easy winning here on these lanes. He said his office is 60 feet long by 5 feet wide, and this is his house.
Interesting note, this being the ABC Masters, he can accept the first place prize fund. If this was a PBA event, he would have to get, he'd have to turn pro to become a PBA member.
Wow.
Smoking.
That's a well-poised man right there.
He's got a great, solid game. He's making great shots. He's got a real good bar action and a good look.
6 straight in the reaction.
That's the eyes of a man with a lot of confidence.
And you know, right now, if Dennis-Horan were to strike out, the best he can shoot is .236, and Brett Wolfe, the bowler that he is, knows that all he has to do is fill the last 3 frames to win. If Dennis strikes out.
And he's not going to do it.
It didn't really matter much anyway.
Well, it sounds like he's throwing in the towel.
Throwing it in?
Well,
that's not, you know, I don't never give up. Randy.
Yeah, I think maybe a little too early for that.
Too early.
I think that's just residue of just being frustrated with how his game kind of deteriorated towards the end there physically.
You can see the score. The lead is 54 pins now for Brett Wolfe.
You know, and you can hear Terry, Dennis's wife at home right now saying, you know what, Dennis, I know you're not real happy about finishing second if you lose, but, you know, 50,000 is really good.
She's still a very happy girl.
Oh,
it just hasn't come together.
That
and I have to ask why. I mean, it's you guys have mentioned about the release from his hands.
Watch how fast this is. That is the fastest 6-8-10 I have ever seen in my life.
Well, you know, Ron, a lot of people ask why you bowl good and why you bowl. Nobody knows what's going on in your mind. Nobody knows. You know, sometimes it's physical, but, you know, only Dennis really could tell us what's going on in your mind. He might not even fess up.
Hey, you know, I think that's a really good point, Brian. You see the ball going all over the lane. Well, is it the equipment? Is it the lane conditions changing? Is it the guy not making the right adjustments, or is it just physically he can't get it off his hand? Hey, that's all he wants, man. 9 spare the rest of the game, and he's $100,000 richer.
After 6 in a row.
And my new best friend.
Knuckleball there. That was nice.
Knuckleball.
Little Hoyt Wilhelm there for Brett Wolfe.
Yeah,
he has such great slow steps to start out, too.
Not many guys can come out against some of the best players in the world and use a urethane ball and beat us. And that's what this guy's done. But it's this format, which a lot of amateurs love, because, like I say, in a 3-game match, it's anybody's game.
And he's on his way to $100,000. Brett Wolfe, originally from Scottsdale and Phoenix area. And he is the winner. The 2002 ABC Masters An unbelievable story, and to quote the great philosopher Carl Spangler, it's a Cinderella story.
Cinderella story, ex-Kohler salesman, now ABC Master Champ.
Hope you're listening.
You know what? Listen, though.
He's talking to his dad.
I'm sorry.
He said, Papa, hope you're listening.
Here's the deal, though. You know, the reason why he's using a urethane ball is because he's got so much power and so many revs that if he was throwing a reactive ball, he wouldn't be able to play the line he's playing.
Well, he's plus 500 on his revs, and he's plus 100,000 in his bank account.
And not too many guys can get a urethane ball to hit like that, Brian. I'd have to throw an 18-pound urethane ball to get to hit like that.
Yeah.
And Dennis-Horan-Jr. will finish things up here in the 10th, but the $100,000 first prize goes to 25-year-old Brett Wolfe. He has showed a great deal of composure throughout the week. And here's the surprise champions that had amateur status here at the Masters. Rick Steele-Smith did it in '87. Brian Bogosian did it in '99. And add the name of Brett Wolfe here in 2002. And you have to keep this in perspective, how remarkable this is for this young man to accomplish this. He beat the best in the world.
Yes, he did. And in a grueling format. A lot of pressure, all that money, but you know what? When I saw him throw it for the first time yesterday, Ron, I was really impressed. Yeah. You know, I heard the name. I'm like, well, who's this guy? Expecting, you know, to see a guy that's just kind of lucked his way in. But when I saw this kid throw it, I was like, wow, this guy can really play. It's no accident. He's won this.
Keeping it in perspective, 3 weeks ago, he was bowling about 3 to 5 games a week. And 2 weeks ago, he told us last night, he said, I thought I better start practicing a little more.
Yeah, exactly. So does the guy have any talent? I mean...
Yeah. Well, you know, he once held the ABC record for sanctioned 300 games in a season with 14. That was back in '97. And Dennis-Horan finally gets one.
Go ahead, Brian.
As we say, you know, goodbye to Dennis. Certainly the things that we saw him do today wasn't out of fear. He's a champion. He's won big titles before. He was just a little frustrated with his game.
I agree.
Whoa.
Well, he wins in his hometown. Bob Learn Jr. did it in '99, beating our broadcast partner, Randy Peterson. He knows what it's like to have the hometown fans behind you. Fitting way to end up. He is the winner of the 2002 Masters. Brett Wolfe from right here in Reno, Nevada. $100,000 to check, and we'll talk to him right after this.
Dave, you're the man.